If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy. We back at it again. Welcome to another edition of the Rico Report, brought to you by you know who. It's the Buffalo Fanatics. What's happening? What's good? Do me a favor before we get anything cracking. Smash that like, hit that like, do all that good stuff. Show your boys some love. You know how the algorithms work, man. The more you like it, the more it gets out there, and the more we can have a little fun with this. So let's get right into it. I mean, I really did want to get into some of the things that the Bills have done right before the actual league year starts, which is tomorrow. But golly, I mean, how do I even continue? How do I go on to talk about Trey Hendrickson? How do I go on to talk about Dawson Knox and the signings that the Bills have done? And I can't bring up Maxx Crosby because that's the news. So we got to get right into this Maxx Crosby chatter that's going on around the league right now. So for those that have been living under a mother effing rock, wake your asses up. The Ravens have rescinded their trade offer, their offer to the the Las Vegas Raiders, because, get this, Maxx Crosby failed the physical. 2 first-round picks given up for Maxx Crosby, the 29-year-old sensational defensive end, is now, the whole thing is in limbo. It's in limbo. And this has ramifications for a lot of teams, because a lot of teams decided to move off of Maxx Crosby and go ahead and do their business. Go and sign that guy, go and sign this guy. The Bills were in on Maxx Crosby. Crosby goes to the Ravens. The Ravens are like, okay, I guess we got our guy. All right, we got to start building around things. They let their center go. Their center's out of here. There's a lot of movement that has taken place and dominoes that have been moved with this one piece gone. And now everything's reversed. So now Maxx Crosby heads back to LA. I keep saying LA for crying out loud. Las Vegas, I'll just say the Raiders. And the Raiders already made a slew of signings. Folks were excited about who they brought in. They spent the most money, obviously because they had the most money, but they spent a lot of money on quality players. And now that's $30 million back on your books. So now, before this league year starts, do you have to say, oh, yo, Kwity Paye, Devin Lloyd, bro. I know Rico looks on I'm looking like an old head saying LA Raiders, right? But fam, what an absolute mess. So I'm going to be giving you guys the scoop as information comes out. Here's the one thing that Adam Schefter has mentioned about these Baltimore Ravens. This is not the first time they have rescinded and backed out of a signing due to a failed physical. They did it back in 2018, and I think they did it, in 2022? I can't remember exactly when they did it, but they've done it twice now. So it's not like it's news that the Ravens will, at the sound of something, back out of it. I mean, poor Chris Broussard. Chris Broussard's got to be, he's in the hospital bed right now. He's got the oxygen mask. He's got it all right now because, fam, Ravens fans have got to be sick to their stomach right now because it changes everything. It changes everything. They went from, okay, now I got Kyle Hamilton, I got Roquan, I got all these guys. Now we got ourselves a bona fide edge rusher. We needed an edge rusher. We have one now. And the whole thing was, Maxx Crosby being on a losing team and he's still productive, kind of like Myles Garrett. Now you're going to be on a team that can actually put points on the board, can play from now. No need to be playing from behind. Now you're ahead. Now sick the dogs on him. Maxx Crosby was supposed to be your closer. Now you don't have your closer. So most people are wondering, if you don't know what the deal is, it's a meniscus issue, torn meniscus or repair, like a tear in the meniscus. I'm not exactly the doctor here. My guy, the thigh doc, kind of gave us a little bit of insight into what takes place on this. So then my question is, how bad is the meniscus? Can you bypass and say, hey man, I kind of, even though he failed the physical, we'll still take him on and we'll work through it? Can you say that? Will a team do that? But that's a lot of money invested, because the Ravens would have to say, take my 2 first-round picks, and I'm going to pay this guy almost $30 million a year, and I'm not sure what I'm going to get out of him. I don't know how long I'm going to get out of him. And I'll just quote my man Thigh Dog, because I asked him, yo, tell me a little bit more about this, man. Like, I need to know more. So is it that bad? Is it as bad as we think? Like, how bad is it? And he says, I just want to make sure I quote my man properly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get him on the phone this late. But he says, yo, what did he say? He says, it could be Ravens are facing some changes. Obviously, there's some loopholes going on. But that meniscus tear, it's like degenerate. So he says meniscus repair can fail. Okay. So he repaired it, but they don't feel good about it. So he says it can fail, or he's got degenerative changes, meaning AKA early arthritis. So that could be it. The doctors probably saw something like, yo, do that again. Run on that treadmill real quick for me. All right, go ahead and pick up that tennis ball. Let me see how. All right, get in your 3-point stance. All right, burst off of that. Ooh, that one's got to hurt. That's got to hurt. My man Ravens fan says, yo, it's bad. He needs another surgery. Is that factual? Is that what it is? He needs another surgery? Golly. My man said, yo, Rico, we need to stop playing, man. Throw that first at Crosby. Not if he needs another surgery. My man said, yo, this is like Todd Gurley symptoms. So this is the situation, man. Things can look one way at the beginning and then fall apart. And right now, things are falling apart, but not just for the Raiders. It's falling apart for a lot of people. Now, most people, I mean, I don't think the Bills would ever do this, but could you imagine if the Raiders came back and said, yo, you can have him for a second, man. All right, 2 first-round picks, y'all can have for a second. Buffalo, you wanted him for a second? Buffalo's like, shoot, we don't got a second. We gave our second-round pick to the Bears. Dare the Bills call and say, hey, man, yo, we'll find our receiver in the draft. You could have DJ Moore back. We'll give you that second, and we'll take on Maxx Crosby. No, listen, in good conscience, I could not do that. I could not do that, man. I can't. You know what I'm saying? We already have a receiver that's going to be doing some big work with Josh Allen. We can't do that. Clearly, I'm joking, guys. It's not going to happen. But this is a big news day, man. That's a lot of drama. Real talk, that's a lot of drama, because if you look, let me just go take a quick peek at what the Raiders have done so far. The Raiders have spent a lot of money, because they were saying, yo, we out. We don't have to deal with Maxx Crosby. Tom Brady was like, yo, we just did big business. He was talking big-ish. I mean, look at the money that these guys have spent. Let me tell you something. Tyler Linderbaum, he just left the Raiders, signed a 3-year deal, $81 million. Quay Walker, former Green Bay Packer linebacker that I was once like, ooh, maybe the Bills could use him in that 3-4 defense. He gone. 3 years, $40.5 million. Nakobe Dean, they get the 2 Georgia boys back together. Nakobe Dean, 3 years, $36 million. Jalen Naylor, Kwity Paye, Eric Stokes, right? They even got Malcolm Koonce for another year. Bro, and they got Taron Johnson. Bro, these boys were rolling. They were rolling. Shoot, we might have to, do we rescind Taron Johnson and really give him the what he really needs? Nah, we're going to take that 6th-round pick. We're going to take that. But dude, man, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, man. And right now, Raiders fans got their hopes up. You know what I'm saying? And now they're disappointed because now they get him back. And then they're going to try to figure something out where they're going to start to believe again. It's like it's a triangle, folks, right? You get your hopes up for something to happen. Then you get news like this. You get disappointed again. And then you're like, wait a minute, there's still guys interested in my guy. Get that hope and start believing again, right? Used to be like the Bills. The Bills would always get hope, get disappointed, start believing again. It was a cycle. It was a dirty cycle. Anyway, that is dirty news going on right now. So pretty much some buyer's remorse happening. Buyer's remorse. They're like, bro, we ain't doing this. This is not good. And right before the league year starts, on top of that, right before the league year starts, this is when this wants to happen. Whoo, this ain't good. This ain't good. By the way, Tom Pelissero, just 14 minutes ago says one GM summarized the feelings around the league. This is very much BS on Baltimore's part. Damn. Baltimore's part. They're saying, yo, you buy it, you keep it. That's pretty much what the league is pretty much saying, man. You touch, you buy. You ever go to them, some of them little corner stores? You know what I'm saying? They don't want kids messing around. So you come in, you touch that, you buy that. You know what I'm saying? We're not playing around. You touch, you buy. Out. That's what the Raiders were saying. The Raiders were like, yo, you can't do that. You can't be a giver. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, there was a term when we were younger. We used to say, I'm not going to say it now because it can be offensive to some folks, but you don't want to be a giver. You know what I'm saying? Where you give something, you take it back. In this case, obviously, there's not much you can do in this situation. Dude is hurt. You're not going to give me, you know what I'm saying? Your broken goods. But here's the thing. It's not like the Baltimore Ravens didn't know. You knew what you were buying. You knew what you were buying. You know what I mean? If it's broken, you take it back. Max is broken. Yo, but here's the thing. You knew what you were buying. If I go to the store and I see that they say, hey, man, you can buy this. And how many stores do you see that? There's a special label on it that says, you know what I'm saying? Once you buy it, it's a wrap. There's a terminology for it. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like final sale. Final sale. That's what the Raiders should have said. The Raiders should have put in final sale. Once you buy him, you don't bring him back. They didn't put that in there. So now Ravens are like, yo, there's something wrong with this. This doesn't sound the same. It doesn't. This toy that I bought for my kid, yo, it's not squeaking the right way. You know what I'm saying? It's not sounding the way it's supposed to sound. It's not moving the way it's supposed to move. But you bought it knowing that it could be an issue. You bought it knowing that it could be an issue. It was a clearance sale. And the Raiders still were able to get a whole lot out of you guys because you guys were desperate. The Bills made a move for DJ Moore offensively, and you felt, let me go ahead and get that. You know what I'm saying? The Ravens just bought a lemon. That's what y'all bought. Y'all bought a lemon. Now, here's the deal. Now, here's the real question, though. How bad is the meniscus? Right? There's minor, there's major, and then there's in between. So where does he fall in the in between? So were the Ravens going in on Maxx Crosby because they felt that it was on the minor side? We can get over that part. And then they just figured out, whoa, this is pretty major. Like those are things like you found out, you knew. This is why there's the tampering period. You got to figure some things out. And I guess you could say this is why there's a tampering because the league year starts tomorrow and there ain't no deal. There ain't no deal. This feels very apropos to Magic Johnson saying, there ain't going to be no trade because I ain't going to be there. That's exactly what's going down right now. No, Maxx Crosby back to the Raiders. Baltimore's back to square one. At least they get their first the first round pick this year, first round pick next year. But now they're back to square one. And some could argue they're worse. They're worse. So now you now have to use your first round pick towards getting a center maybe. And here's the thing. You lost Linderbaum. You had opportunities to go out and get somebody. You had opportunity. And here you are. I mean, we'll trade you. We got a dude sitting right now on the roster right now, Cedric Van Pran-Granger. It's gonna cost you because I know you guys are willing to pay. I mean, we'll take a second. We'll take a second round pick. You can keep your first. We'll take a second round pick if you want Cedric Van Pran-Granger. We can work with you guys. You guys don't have a center right now. We can work with y'all. But man, oh man, the Raiders, that's tough. Everybody's chiming in. The Raiders just pulling the plug. They pulled the rug out from the Ravens pulling the plug from the Ravens. Oh, not the first time that organization's pulled that. And that's the thing. People know this. This takes them back to 2018 when they did it. This feels like when a player, you know what I'm saying, is asked to, we signed you to come to the squad and you choose not to come to the squad. The Bills know a lot about that. You know what I'm saying? McKissick, I think it was McKissick back in the day. And then you had old boy from the freaking Philadelphia Eagles pull that stunt. Darius Slay. This kind of feels like this. Man, that is crazy. So what do the Ravens do now? What do the Raiders do now? Do you nullify one of the deals you've already made to make room for Maxx Crosby back onto your roster? I mean, you have all the money in the world, so you can pay him. You can afford it. But boy, when you get rid of Quay Walker? Quay Walker was the guy you just signed from Green Bay. So now you got to make it. So this is a problem for the Raiders now. Unless they just can afford it and make this thing happen. Or Brandon Beane comes in and says, "What's it gonna cost you, bro? I got a fourth round pick waiting for you, bro. You can have that. I'll give you fourth. Should I give you a fourth and a fifth? I just swapped picks with the Raiders. So listen, I'll give you that sixth. You can have the Raiders sixth. I'll give you a fourth. Oh, so there's things that we could talk about. Yo, Raiders, you want your sixth back? We can talk about it, man. We can talk about it. But man, oh man, this is something. This is something. So now the Bills, not to be all over the place with these Raiders, but like now the Bills are very much in this situation. The Bills are very much in this situation. Here's another thing. So here's another thing. This whole Maxx Crosby thing has now made the price go way up for Trey Hendrickson. Now text from Jordan Schultz coming in from Jordan Schultz. Jordan Schultz says, "Yo, there's a text from a GM. Baltimore is going to sign Trey Hendrickson. Watch." So Trey Hendrickson goes to the Ravens potentially. Crosby back to the Raiders. Yo, how good would this be? How good would this be? Raiders take back Maxx Crosby, but now they're listening to everything. They know they're going to have to do a fire sale. They're going to have to give up some money. They're going to have to give up some chicken. They're not going to be able to get that first round, second round. Second round and first round might be off the table. Who knows how they negotiate. Ravens say they sign Trey Hendrickson. He goes back to the AFC North. He gets to hound his ex-quarterback and call that a day. Poor Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, bro. He went from, golly, I gotta face all them boys from the North. Whew, okay, woo. There goes that deal. The Raiders and Ravens, they screwed that up. Wait a minute. Trey Hendrickson is going to the Ravens. Golly, it doesn't stop. Myles Garrett. You got Watt, and now you got Hendrickson. That poor guy. But anyway, maybe, just maybe, the Bills can figure something out and get a second, third, fourth opinion. Maybe it's not as bad. I don't know how this is gonna work out. But here's the thing, man. The one thing that we've got as a Bills fan and as a content creator for the Bills, we got to be careful on those things because we went and took a chance on Joey Bosa, and we pretty much had kid gloves on that guy. We were making sure that he didn't have too many snaps. He wasn't going too nuts. You know what I'm saying? Take it easy. We'll give you 40 snaps, 40% snaps, and you just chill. Now, we were in on a 29-year-old that has a meniscus issue. We went in on Von Miller. Von Miller was looking really good. Older cat, really nice. And then, boom, there he goes. Down he goes. Older cats. We got to be careful. We got to be careful. Do we want to go down that route again? I was even apprehensive with the Trey Hendrickson, but he's probably the best pass rusher right now in free agency. So, like, you would be doing yourself no favors by not at least inquiring. Golly, man, this just turned everything upside down, folks. This just turned everything upside down. And right now, folks are not happy with the Baltimore Ravens. Not happy. And I'd feel the same way, too. I'd absolutely feel the same way. You thought you had something, and now you don't. Now you see me, and now you don't. Golly, that's got to hurt. That's got to hurt. So, according to, who's this? There's a pro football doctor, right? Ex-NFL head team doctor for 17 years by the name of David J. Chow. David J. Chow. Let me see how long this clip is. It's 47 clips, so I'm gonna play that for just a moment, right? It says the Ravens traded for Maxx Crosby despite his recovery from a torn meniscus. Passing a physical depends on the team. And the Ravens were clearly comfortable moving forward with this trade based on where Crosby was in his rehab. So they knew you had a fully torn meniscus. And they're like, yo, based on his rehab, we don't mind it. He'll recover. He'll be all right. Let's bring him in for it. And now they realize, wait a minute, it's not as good as we thought it would be. Not so good. So now here are the Ravens backing out. Now you have the Raiders that thought they're what do you call those, fish oil salesmen, where they sell you some nonsense. I don't know if that's what the term is. Forgive me if I got it wrong. And now you got to get your damaged goods back. Now, the human side of me feels absolutely awful for Maxx Crosby because he went from being excited. You guys have all been there. We've all been there as children. We've all been there as adults. We've all been there at some point. Snake oil salesman. Thank you. Snake oil. I don't know what I said. Fish oil. Snake oil, fish oil, same old thing, right? You gotta feel awful for Maxx Crosby. Why? Emotions are in this, man. You go and give a heartfelt podcast and you talk about how you love Raider Nation and all that stuff, and you're excited to get started. You're excited to kind of start this whole new thing, and here we are. And now you're back to square one, and with a knee that you thought was maybe doing well, and now you're sitting here going, crap, like, yo, what's going on with me? At least he's paid no matter what. He's paid no matter what. So, like, he good. So what do the Raiders do with him now? What do the Raiders do with him now? The Raiders can't stop. They gotta find someone that's gonna buy. You gotta find a buyer. And like Max, like I'm gonna share my page in just a moment, but like David Chow just said, when the Ravens traded for Maxx Crosby, even knowing about his recovery, passing a physical depends on the team. Depends on the team. It's not a one size fits all. Like, yo, he failed, and that's what. Yo, the Bills might look at him and say, "What's the problem? Yo, bring him on." But it ain't gonna cost the Bills no 2 first-round picks. Heck no, that's not. The price has significantly gone down. How far down it's gone, that is what we're gonna be waiting for. That is what we're gonna be waiting for. But I feel bad for Maxx Crosby, bro. I feel bad for the man. This brother went from being totally excited to being in a new situation, going to a team that he can, actually start winning. Because I can't remember the last time the Raiders were a winning team. I really can't. And that's not even throwing no shade. When's the last time these guys were a winning squad? So this guy out of there, damn, is that how many he's had? 8 surgeries in 7 years? Can you confirm that? 8 surgeries in 7 years. Golly. But I feel bad for the guy. I feel bad. Let me just show you guys share my page real quick. Dr. Chow. Dr. Chow was dropping gems. So let's see what Dr. Chow had to say.
An issue, but we're going to pass him on the physical.
Here we go. So this was a while ago when the signing was done for Crosby.
Is he ready to play football today past the physical? The answer is no, I don't think so.
I don't think
I've
so.
seen the social media post where he's still got a hitch in his gait.
Mhm.
Can he pass a physical to project to be healthy for the regular season? Yes, and I hope so. And
Right.
that's what the Ravens are going to need to do. That the passing of the physical or not passing is dependent on the team. They can say, we understand he's got an issue, but we're going to pass him on the physical. Or they could be sticklers, I suppose, but I don't know how they didn't look at that issue before consummating the trade.
Boom. How do you not look at that before consummating the trade? Simple as that. Simple as that. I mean, I don't want to get too vulgar, but it's like, yo, you got to do, before you get into a situation with somebody, you've got to understand who you're getting with. You got to know who you're getting with. You've dated before. Some of us are married. Some of us are not. Some of us are in relationships, long-term relationships. You got to vet who you're dealing with. You can't tell me you get with someone that was promiscuous. You knew this person was promiscuous. And right before, you're like, well, you knew. Well, now you're going back out because maybe there was just one too many. You knew. So the Baltimore Ravens knew exactly what was going on. It's documented. It's been documented. But y'all thought y'all had one. Somebody say, yo, wait, who dated? You guys want to talk about. You got to do your information. You got to get your information in. Sometimes your boys will tell you, hey, don't talk to that girl. Yo, she been talking, she been chatting with a lot of people. I'm gonna do it anyway. We've all been there. Don't talk to that dude, girl. Don't talk to that dude. He's a player. I can fix him. Right? Until you get there, you're like, girl, he was terrible. No, he did me dirty. Oh, he was this, he was that. All those things, man. Yo, that's exactly what happened, man. The Ravens got blue balls, my guy. They're sitting curled up in a ball right now, recovering. Shoot. Bricked up. And now look at them. Bricked up and nothing to listen, but hey, at the end of the day, they get to kind of restart and kind of recompose themselves and get right back to it. I'm gonna check out Will Compton's cheat. I'll check that out in a second. My man Gino Silver says, yo, meniscus can flare up at any time. Walking, getting out of bed, jogging, changing direction, using a ladder on a cold day, swimming, dancing, arthritis, right? If it's bad enough, it could lead to, a bad arthritis, I assume. And your arthritis is affected by a whole lot. Yo, it's about to rain. Golly, I can feel that. You feel me? So, man, tough situation. So this is going to be something that we're going to be monitoring a lot. So now what do the Bills do? Do the Bills just continue as normal and say, yo, I'm not dealing with these old guys no more, man. We've had enough of these old guys come through and try to handle and try to, we're trying to lean on what they used to do. Right? But what about now? What are you good for right now? That's what it comes down to. And I don't know what's going on, man. But I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know if you guys have any the Bills, if the Buffalo Bills have someone they trust a lot and they deal a lot, and they have someone that specializes in this, in that department of like just looking at the knee and the knee alone and meniscus, and they look at him like, man, it's not as bad as I thought. Yo, sign him. But don't do for 2 first-round picks. I don't know. But I'll tell you this right now. The Bills have to be very cautious in what they do. Jokes aside, I know the jokes, sometimes they can write themselves. But jokes aside, if you're going to invest that much into a player, figure it out. So right now, here's the question for you guys in the chat. Both players are available right now. Trey Hendrickson, Maxx Crosby. You got 3 choices. A, Trey Hendrickson. B, Maxx Crosby. C, none of the above. don't even go for either one of them and just go for somewhere else, and we'll call it a day? I need y'all to let me know. A, B, or C. In the chat, let me know. A, Trey Hendrickson. B, Maxx Crosby. C, none of the above. I want no parts of any of them. And the reason you don't want any parts of Maxx Crosby, obviously, is because of this injury situation that's flared up. Okay? We know that. But what's the issue with Trey Hendrickson that you wouldn't want it? Too pricey? Because I'll tell you right now, I had a tweet out and I was asking, what would you think it would take to bring Maxx Crosby, Trey Hendrickson to the Bills? What would it take? What do you think it would take? Because right now, if you look at Trey Hendrickson's the last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. In 2020, 13.5 sacks. In 2021, 14 sacks. In 2022, he had 8 sacks. Then he exploded in 23 and in 24. He had 17.5 sacks 2 years in a row. Incredible. And then last year, obviously, with the core, he had core muscle issues and contract situation. He only ended up playing 7 games, and in 7 games, he scored 4 sacks, and then ended up ending his season with that core muscle. Whether you want a core muscle or not, some guys, I got a hamstring, can't play. Core muscle, it's in my core. I don't know, but knowing what you know, with those statistics, A, B, or C. And the question I had for Bills fans, while you guys are chiming in and let me know what your thoughts are. What's the number for Hendrickson? What would it take for you guys to be content with Trey Hendrickson? What number would it take? What would it be? Because I've seen people tell me, listen, man, give that brother $15 million and call it a day. Ain't no way Trey Hendrickson is taking $15 million. He just saw Jalen Phillips he's 26 years old. He's got injuries himself, some good ones, but he's still young, still got youth on his side. And he hasn't done half the things I've done in this league. He got $30 million. Are you kidding me? Heck no. I got to get paid just as much as he did. But that's not the game. The game is who wants to pay you. Your age matters in this whole situation. And then you had Maxx Crosby just get his. So he's kind of like, shoot, man, I need to get paid. So $15 million probably is not going to cut it. So then my question was, what is it going to take? I had people tell me, hey, sign him for 2 years, $36 million. Right? Sign him for $24 million and you'll add those to the void years. $25 million is what it's going to take. If it's 25 minimum, that's what it's going to take. Are you willing to give him $25 million a year? Some folks are saying, $15 million, that's it. But no more than 20. 21, 22, I draw the line. 21 million, 22 million. So what's your number? What's the number for you guys accepting that Brandon Beane would say, hey, I'm going to give this guy 21 million, call it a day? Who knows? Crosby changes his profile picture and already deleted his Ravens post. Golly, already? I mean, shoot, what do you want him to do? He's not a Raven. Yo, it's a whole mess. This is messy. This is absolutely messy. It's messy. Here's another comment coming from Jay Glazer. Teams around the NFL are definitely shocked, to say the least, at the Ravens backing out, and a few teams who were previously interested already committed their money elsewhere, so they can't jump in now. So it's bad all around. So like what? Is the NFL going to make a new rule now? You know what I'm saying? If you're not ready to sign this guy, don't sign him. If you're unsure, don't sign him, because now you just made other teams do what they need to do. Straight up and down. So like where I work, right? For my career job, I'm in a position where I deal with a lot of new employees coming in, right? Onboarding new employees and training and all that stuff, right? And one thing that I always share with them is, listen, it's a pecking order. If you're up and you've accepted to come in to work, and you don't call the back, and you back out without calling or anything, you've just screwed over somebody else, because that was their opportunity to go in and put something in. And now it's too late. And that's what it feels like with these Ravens, man. These Ravens went, I'm all in. And everybody's like, all right, shoot. Okay, let's move. Now the NFL might make a rule and say, hey, man, We don't want this type of fiasco to happen again. So if you sign someone, you better be double sure that you're ready to go and sign this guy. There's no backing out. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a new rule. No backing out. I mean, where I work right now, it used to be when someone retired, you can retire and then all of a sudden you can take your paperwork back and say, I don't want to retire anymore. I want to come back to work. They've eliminated that. They say, hey, once you put your paperwork in to retire, there ain't no coming back. So you better be sure you want to retire. No different with these guys. Oh, if you're signing this guy, you better be sure that you're signing him and you're not backing out of this. Because now you're affecting 31 other teams. 30 other teams. So, are you in or are you out? And right now, the Ravens have really turned this whole thing upside down. So, oh boy. By the way, busting with the boys. Yo, who told me to go and look at Busting with the Boys? These guys are stupid, man. This is so old. That's so dumb. If you guys go to Busting with the Boys, you'll see what I'm talking about. But here we are, man. The Ravens are out on Maxx Crosby. The Raiders receive Maxx Crosby back. The front office at Las Vegas is probably kind of like, what the heck do we do now? What do we do now? Listen, on the bright side, if it's not as bad and the Ravens just decided to back out of the situation because they were just too pansy to kind of man up and take this on, or maybe they had buyer's remorse from the beginning and they just weren't sure. And because that's another thing too. Let me put it this way. Maybe those buyer's remorse right from the jump. They reluctantly gave 2 first-round picks. And now, when things were getting closer and they looked at that X-ray, they looked at it again, and they looked at the X-ray again, and like, you know what? Scrap this whole thing, man. Scrap this whole thing. That's probably what it was. They said, scrap this whole thing. We ain't doing this no more. And that's tough, man. You're in a tough position to be in when you're the Ravens. So buyer's remorse. So they probably had buyer's remorse and sent that brother back. So now Max is like, all right, so I guess I'm back to the Raiders, Raider Nation. Stand up. They're like, bro, sit your ass down. Sit your ass down, bro. We thought we got rid of you. Man. And now we got to deal with it. We got to deal with this again. So I think something does get done. I don't know. I mean, how crazy would it be if they just put him on injured reserve and say, yo, you're not coming back till next year? Craziness has happened, bro. Craziness has happened. Their best bet is to kind of move on from him and go from there. If I'm the Bills, though, and if I'm really in on Maxx Crosby and it's at my discretion, I'm doing a couple things. A, you're getting a lower draft pick. So obviously the Bills don't have a second round pick. So we gotta get creative. You can have next year's second, and I'll give you this year's third, right? Or I'll give you this fourth. But you got to do something about his salary. You got to do something about his salary, man. So you're gonna have to take a little bit of that. I'll take some. You take some. You know what I'm saying? Because right now we know what's good. So if you want me to take him off your hands, A, you're gonna take some of his salary. B, I'm gonna give you. You know what I'm saying? I'll be generous. I'll give you my second next year. Maybe I can give you my first this year. I don't know. We'll have to discuss. But there's gonna be a whole lot of. I'm curious to see if Crosby does get moved, what the compensation is going to be and how far will it drop? I'm very curious in that regard. So there we are. Maxx Crosby back to the Raiders. The Ravens are now back with their first round pick this year and their first round pick next year. And by the way, the Bills were very much into Maxx Crosby. And do they get back into the mix? Will they get back into the mix? Is it wise of them to get back into the mix? And I'm on the fence here. I'm on the fence. I'm really on the fence here. Real talk. Who would you guys rather see? Who would you rather see on the Bills? Trey Hendrickson or Maxx Crosby? knowing what you know now. Poor Ravens. That's tough. That's tough. And I could totally see the Ravens go and say, hey, man, we actually really wanted Trey Hendrickson, but you know what? And now that he's still available, let's go. But if I'm Trey Hendrickson, the money just went up. I want 40. I want 40 mil a year. You want me? I want 40. Who knows where it's going to go, man? Who knows where it's going to be? But here's why that's where that is. Now, let's get back to Bills talk. Okay, Ravens, they're going to have to figure it out. If any news comes out, I'll let you guys know as I'm perusing through Twitter. And if you guys see something come up on Twitter, you guys let me know. Because right now that's where the buzz is happening right now. That's where the buzz is happening. So we'll see. We'll see where it all shakes out. Now, when it comes to the Bills, though, the Bills were listen, man. The Bills were active last year. When it came to free agency, they were an active bunch because in the first 3 hours of free agency, Josh Palmer was signed. Boom. That evening, 6 p.m., Michael Hoyt. The very next day, Darrington Evans. Boom. It's like they were moving. They were signing players left, right, center, like our own guys, re-signing our own guys. Like they were moving. This year, much slower. Much slower. But is it a bad thing that they're going much slower? Or is it a matter of we just don't have the money? Or what's causing the for them to be this kind of taking their time? Are they just waiting for the league year to open up tomorrow and say, all right, let's roll? I'm curious. I'd love to know. But I'll tell you this right now. The Bills bringing back certain players to kind of move some things around has worked out. I haven't had a chance to talk to you guys about D. Alford. I had a homie of mine he's a Atlanta Falcons fan. And obviously you guys know that I work for and I do a little bit of content creation for a Bleacher Report. So I got a whole lot of people that I talk to that are from content creators from different teams. And the minute that D. Alford was sent the Bills' way, I got a message saying, "Hey man, y'all got a good one in D. Alford, man. Y'all got a good one." And I had to do my own research on D. Pause. I can't be calling that brother. Yo, what's his full name, man? Can't be calling that brother D. Alford. Yo, D, get out of here, bro. I gotta find his real name. Maybe it is just D. But anyway, I was doing my research on and looking him up, and this guy's a good player. He's been on that squad. He's had some starts under his belt. And then Billy Bowman came onto the squad. And Billy Bowman is a dog. And Billy Bowman, drafted in the 5th round, that was one guy. This guy called me Sweet D. Sweet D. Alford. Yo, you tripping when I say that. I'm tripping when I say that. Anyway, when it comes to D. Alford, this guy was, I wouldn't say battling, but when Billy Bowman went down, Alford stepped up in a huge way. This guy was interceptions, getting balls, batting balls down, that he was all over the place. So he came in and stepped up huge. I like Billy Bowman. I thought the Bills were at least going to have a look at Billy Bowman. We had an opportunity to get Xavier Watts or Billy Bowman. And we whiffed on both of them. Is it DeAndre? Thank you. I'm going to call this guy. I'm not calling no D. I got to call him DeAndre Alford. That's his name. Thank you, Gino. Gino helping a brother out, man. Appreciate that, bro. Call him Sweet D Alford. Can't do that. Won't do it. But anyway, but here's the deal. Us getting DeAndre Alford, I think is a great move for the Bills, man. Same age. It's not like we got younger as from Taron Johnson. But we also saw what we had out of Taron Johnson, right? Heavily into the zone. That was a McDermott guy to a T. And great things, man. Great things from Taron, because we were one of the defenses in the league, one of the only defenses in the league that could literally stay in nickel and still not change a whole lot that we do on defense. Some might say this was a problem. And some might say, hey, man, we were a winning team on defense for years because that people were like, yo, these guys are still in nickel? Okay, so what's Taron Johnson doing? Oh, he's a great tackler. All right. So there was a whole lot of great things that we had when Taron Johnson was here. Great in zone. Not so great in man. Well, here comes DeAndre Alford. DeAndre Alford, good in zone, and better in man. And maybe that's the route that this new defensive coordinator, Jim Leonard, might go. I mean, he that's a defense that plays a lot of everything. So I'm looking forward to it. But maybe DeAndre Alford coming in will do big things for these Bills. Not a great tackler. I'll tell you that right now. He's not a great tackler. He was graded poorly, according to the PFF, when it comes to tackling. But boy, that boy can cover, and he's got instincts. He's very smart. Very smart. Can play nickel and can bump outside, but primarily will play nickel. So we went from a zone tough tackling nickel to a nickel that doesn't do well in terms of tackling, not very well. But however, that boy is he's instinctual, and he will make plays. You want guys like that are ball hawks that will make plays on the football. So that's what you're going to get out of Mr. DeAndre Alford. So welcome to the Bills, DeAndre. That boy got pretty much, they said it was a $21 million deal, but really it's a $15 million deal. So he's getting about $4 million. I mean, I think it was broken down. Let me just, I don't want to make anything up here. So let me give you guys exactly what that brother's going to be getting paid. D. Alford. And I kind of give you break down the numbers here. Mr. D. Alford. So let me give you an idea. So like right now, his 2025 stats to kind of give you an idea. 35.8 run grade. Okay, run D grade was 38.8. Not great. 16.9 missed tackle rate. 56.8 coverage grade. 86.5 percentage receiving rate. And then 3 pass breakups. Okay, so those were his PFF stats. Some folks love PFF. Some folks are like, nah, we ain't doing it. But against the Bills, this brother graded a 91.4 coverage versus the Bills. So you put him on a defense that's going to be as chaotic and wreaking chaos and putting chaos towards everybody else, bro, it's going to be nice. So here's how the contract breaks down for Mr. DeAndre Alford. So it's a 3-year, $15.75 million without incentives. Okay, that's what your deal is. That's it. Okay, 7.87 million is guaranteed at this moment, and then another 4.5 million at signing bonus, 1.31 million in base salary. So, and then 2.65 in 2027. So here's what you're looking at right now. Here's cap hits for 2026 is 3.23. Lovely. Cap hit for 2027, 6.25. Cap hit for 2028, 6.25. So I'm assuming the out will be either next year or the year after that, but you want at least the guy to be in your system 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he didn't get paid big money. It's lovely to see how that shakes out. We got ourselves a nickel corner. We lose a nickel corner just to get a nickel corner. So that's awesome news. By the way, Bam Adebayo, did he put 77 points up today? Bam? He putting points up like that? Listen, I'm all good with him put up 77 points. I just don't want to see anybody break my...
Buffalo Fanatics, what's going on? This is Pierre the Kingpin, and I wanted to talk to you today about Cigars International, which is the ultimate destination for premium homemade cigars. Known as the industry leader, Cigars International offers the largest selection, unbeatable prices, and a customer service experience that's second to none. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned vet, Cigars International makes enjoying cigars easy, approachable, and fun. Cigars International is the go-to retailer for all things cigars, with the biggest selection of premium homemade cigars available anywhere. Cigars International offers unbeatable deals and discounts, making it easy to stock up on your favorite or try something new without breaking the bank. With fast free shipping and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence knowing that Cigars International stands behind every order. They have good relationship with vendors that helps provide great low prices. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned pro, Cigars International makes it easy to find the right cigar with helpful guides, staff reviews, and expert advice. It's not just about cigars. Cigars International also offers a wide range of accessories and more to elevate your smoking experience. Check out the great deals every day at cigarsinternational.com. That's cigars, CIGARS, international.com. Use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply. Again, use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply.
Thank you for calling the Bombas Comfort Line. Bombas make socks, slippers, tees, and underwear made with the highest quality materials. Press 1 for comfort, 2 for style, 3 for donation. You chose style. Bombas has styles for whatever you enjoy. You can run in Bombas, lounge in Bombas, dress them up, dress them down, but always give back in Bombas. Because with every item purchased, another is donated. Bombas, comfort worth calling for. Go to bombas.com/audio and use code audio for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com and use code audio.
My boy's record. I don't want anybody to see, like I say, break his record. We already know what the record is, but 81, I don't think anybody surpassed 81 in forever. So I don't want anybody surpassing 81. That's my boy Kobe. I need that record to sit for a while. There's been some guys that have come real close, but I need that record to sit for a while. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. All right. So let's keep rolling here. So DeAndre Alford joins the Bills. Love to see it. And then we just made a decision today because we were wondering, man, a lot of us were wondering what is going to take place with Dawson Knox. Because we've all been doing the calculations. Okay, so what's it going to take? Are we going to cut him? What's it going to be? Talk to me. Someone say something. And there's been nothing. And officially today, the Bills have officially made a move with Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox has been, they said they've restructured his deal, or you want to call it, they gave him an extension. They gave him a new 3-year deal extension, a.k.a. they made him say, listen, we're going to adjust your pay cut. It's a pay cut, but I don't want to call it a pay cut. We're going to give you a new 3-year deal. So you will not be making that $16 million that you're about to make. It's going to be dropped down considerably low. How low? It's a fantastic question. I think it's going to be below 10. Below $10 million. I mean, it has to be. And he gets to stay with the Bills at least another 2 years. So we get Dalton Kincaid for the next 2 years. We also get, obviously, our rookie, our soon-to-be second-year player in Jackson Hawes. And then we just brought in our boy, Dawson Knox. So we get the best, I think, one of the best tight end groups in the league back together for the next 2 years. And Jackson Hawes was as solid as they came. We didn't have to have that big jumbo set going when we wanted to run the football. We didn't have to do that. Jackson Hawes came through, and he became that guy. So now, as a defense, you got to see him and be like, yo, are they running or are they going to pass? Because when you saw Alec Anderson come in, oh, yeah, we know what's going on. Jackson Hawes comes in, yo, there's no need to bring Alec Anderson in now. Alec Anderson is going to be competing for left guard. So we'll see how that shakes out in the end. So Dawson Knox back with the Bills on a 3-year deal. So the trio, the band is back together. The set is back together. Nobody's breaking up. Nobody's going anywhere. And you know what I'm saying? Josh Allen has both his boys. As much as people want to talk about, hey, Josh doesn't stay, you know, he doesn't say a whole lot into these deals. Bro, Josh has made it very clear that he jumped in, not him, but Connor McGovern was like, yo, if not for my quarterback, bro, I probably wouldn't be here. Josh said something for that. Josh also said, hey, I'm vouching for my boy Keon, man. Bring Keon to the squad. So I'm sure of it. Josh had a lot to do with Dawson Knox's deal and their closeness, their relationship. And you want to keep it that way because Dawson Knox is a good player, man. He's a solid player. So Dawson, Kincaid, Jackson Hawes back together. Nothing happens with that group. We continue and we go from there. So now the league year starts tomorrow. we got to figure out what these Bills are going to do. Do we go for more depth? We just lost Cam Lewis. Cam Lewis is gone. Where did Cam Lewis go? Cam Lewis signed with who did Cam Lewis sign with? And I'm gonna miss Cam Lewis, man. I was a fan of Cam Lewis, man. Cam Lewis was my guy. UB native, you know what I'm saying? So where does he go? Oh shoot, Cam Lewis is going to the Chicago Bears. So Chi-Town is getting Cam Lewis. They got themselves a good one, man. I like Cam. Cam he's a versatile player. You can play nickel, can play safety, you can play corner. Liked everything about him. So shout out to Cam Lewis. He's gone. Shout out to my boy Reggie Gilliam. Reggie Gilliam leaves. He's going to the Patriots. I'm happy for him, but I'm also sad that he went to the Patriots of all teams. You could have went anywhere else. Just not to the Chiefs. Just not to the Patriots. Oh, Bam is still going? Yo, he can't break that record. Do not let Bam break the record. Do not. Do not let... Yo, don't let him do it. Please don't let him do it. I don't want him breaking that record. Come on, don't let him do it. No, Bam, Abendejo. Was it Abendejo? What's his name? No, we can't let that happen. Don't let Bam do it now. Don't let Bam do it. We can't. Do not let Bam do it. Oh man, Adebayo. That's it. I said Bam Adebayo. Yo, what quarter are they in? For crying out loud, they need to stop, man. Golly, they're in the third? No, tell me this was an hour ago. That was half an hour ago. The game's got to be over by now. Jeez. Play some defense, y'all. Golly, that's another thing. Anyway, so folks, let me just say this. The league year starts tomorrow. There are a ton. There's a minute left and 30. Oh, please, just play some defense on the guy, man. Crying out loud. Play some defense. Have some respect and not break the record. Sit down. Just sit down. You know what I mean? Sit down and don't let this thing, please let me know he doesn't break the record. I don't want him to tie it and I don't want him to break it. Please do not. Big Papa says, yo, Bam, break that record. I want to see Rico crash out. I'm not going to crash out because he's not going to freaking break it. Please don't let him break it. But anyway, Bam at the free throw line, man, miss. Come on, man. Sheesh. All right. Okay. I don't want to, let me get back to it. So what are we doing? What are the Bills doing? What do the Bills need? Now, there's a couple thoughts that I have, ladies and gentlemen. There's a couple thoughts that I have. Let's stick on this Maxx Crosby situation. Jokes aside, let's talk for real. A player will know if he can play or not. I'm sure there's been, damn it, he got 81? Golly, man. Are you who's playing defense, man? Who's playing defense? This new NBA is a joke. You can't let Adebayo, Bam Adebayo, of all players, him get 81. Are you kidding me? Who's playing D in this league, man? Yo, this sickens me. Absolutely sickens me. Golly. I won't crash out. And here I go crashing out. Anyway, let me get back to it. Let me get back to this Bill chat real quick. So I would love to know if there's ever been a case where a team understood that, yeah, the physical doesn't seem good, but we're gonna hold on to that guy anyway. Do you hold on to him because you can allow him to sit and do that? And if the Bills are in that mode, cool. But what if they come back and say, yo, he does need another surgery, and that other surgery can keep him out another 2 months, and you're paying him $29 million? There would have to be some major reconstruction if the Bills are willing to take it, because they might can say, hey, the deal's on the table, but it's we still need those 2 first-round picks. Can you justify that? Can you justify that? I know people right now on X are like, yo, I would still do the deal. Bring him to me. Bring him to the Bills. I don't know. That's a big one. By the way, Patrick Ricard just signed with the Giants. Good for them. It's all white. Golly, it's an all white backfield. You got Cam Scatterbo and Pat Ricard. That should be interesting. That'll be fun. But fam, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that. So then you look over to you look over to Trey Hendrickson, and he's going to be asking for quite a bit. So do we even have the money to do that? And that's another thing too. That's another thing. Like I know that there's ways that we can move some money around and try to kind of, move that guy and restructure Josh and restructure that person. There's a whole lot of things that we can do. And I was wondering, was that why the Bills were so quiet? Because they were just mulling on Trey Hendrickson. Apparently tomorrow, Trey Hendrickson is going to make a decision as to who he's going to be dealing with. Now the Ravens are very much back into this. But are you willing to give Trey Hendrickson $30 million? Now here's the deal, and I'll go back to Louis Riddick. Louis Riddick said, the trade only works is if the trade allows you to win. If you don't win with the trade, all right, you're done. You're cooked. But if based on the trade that you made, it allowed you to win, then you know it works. So you'll never know if it's really good for you until end result is the Super Bowl. If it gets you to a Super Bowl, ain't nobody talking about no 30 mil. And if you got to do what you got to do, then do it. Are we there? Are we there yet? That's what I want to know. Are we there? Are we to the point where, I wouldn't call us desperate, but are we there to the point where we're ready? We're about to pay this guy 30 mil and go from there. I'd love to know if that's how we feel. You guys let me know. Talk to me. That's one thing. So then I'm looking at, let me go back to free agency, because I want to see if both those guys are like, let's just say we're not dealing with those both those guys, okay? What edge player is out there? I was talking to my man Bobby. Bobby's like, yo, I'd bring back Joey Bosa if those guys are gone. I personally would not. I'm out on Joey Bosa. I've seen enough from Joey Bosa. He's going to be a year older. I'm good. But we need something, because what's waiting for us is Landon Jackson. And the way Landon Jackson's offseason went, the way things played out, it just was multiple times on the inactive list. It was like, golly, did we whiff again? Was that another Boogie Basham? Obviously, way too early to kind of put that out there. I don't want to do that. But man, it makes you wonder. So right now, edge defenders available. Obviously, Jalen Phillips signed a huge deal, $80 million guaranteed, making $30 to $30 million a year. Odafe Owe went to the freaking Washington Commanders. He's getting $25 million a year. Boye Mafe from the Seahawks, $20 million a year. Kwity Paye, maybe he becomes available. Long-armed defensive edge with the Raiders. So, there's a lot of guys that are not on that list that are just not there anymore. So, who's available? So, here's who's available. Let me share my screen because I want to show you guys at least so you can see it with me. And who do we like? So, let me share my screen with y'all real quick, and then we can get cracking. I'm actually very upset that the record was broken. Not even a record, but his record was broken. I'm not happy about that. All right, here we roll. Can you guys see my screen, and can you see it clear enough? If it's not clear enough, I'll try to get you guys closer. Oh, I'll do it the wrong way. Give me a second here, folks, and I'll get you guys a clearer shot of what I'm looking at here. So let me know if you guys can see this a lot clearer. Is that better? Okay, this might be a little better. Yeah, that's better for you guys. All right, so here's where I'm at. I'm looking at Trey Hendrickson, 31. He just turned 31. So we got him at 31 years old. He's going to be asking for at least 29. At least, right? Same as my man. Hassan Reddick, still around, 31 years of age. Right? 8 years in the game. Much lower. Can he give us what we need in that 3-4 defense? Do you want to bring Joey Bosa back? Leonard Floyd at 33 years of age? At one point, you got to start getting younger. Or finding someone that, if you're going to go with someone that's older, at least someone that's done it. right? We had Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd is a good player. Don't get me wrong. Are ready to run it back with Leonard Floyd? Denico Autry, 35. Come on, man. Like, I'm not trying to. We still want longevity with our player. I mean, you want to go bring back Von Miller? He's gonna be 37 years of age. Come on, man. Cam Jordan. Pardon me. Here's the thing with Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan has been productive his whole career. He's been productive his whole career. I just want to see his statistics. Where his stats at? Where your stats at, kid? Productive his whole career. He had 11 sacks last year, which is impressive. 4 sacks, 2 sacks, right? 17 games. This guy he doesn't get hurt. He plays. Does he miss games? This brother's only missed 1 game that I'm looking. Golly, this guy's legitimate. He's got a lot of snaps under his belt, right? But he's always been a damn good player. But at 36 years old, I'm going to pass on that. I can't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. And neither could Bean. We can't let Bean do that. So, like, where is that sweet spot? Joe Tryon, 27, edge rusher. I remember when he was with the Bucks, when he was coming out of college, I liked him. But that's been a long time. Are we really trying to go to Jadeveon Clowney? Bro, we got to get young. We got to get young, and we got to get someone that's like, here's the thing. I was telling the boys today, if we can find another Michael Hoyt type player, and by saying, when I say that, I'm talking about a guy that's got an absolute motor and is multiple, can play standing up, can play hand in the dirt, can play inside, right? If you can find a guy like that, I can roll with that. But where he at? Azeez Ojulari could be 20. He's going to be 26 years old. Maybe that's an option. Joshua Uche, 27. We could deal. I mean, come on, man. Sheesh. There's not a whole lot out there. So this is why the Bills are like, bro, F this whole list down here. Bring me, look at Carl Jones down here. Carl Jones is when he's becoming an edge rusher now. Hey, Carl Jones. But this is why I think the Bills are like, yo, I've seen the list. I see what's out there. I'm in on Trey Hendrickson. So maybe Trey says, you know what? I'll take $24 million, man. I'll come play for y'all for $24 million. But I want a long-term deal. But incentive-wise, I need XYZ. I want to make up to $30 million. I want to make up to $29 million. And if I can give you 16 sacks, I make my money back. But if we can get a guy that if he comes in and gives you 16 sacks, that's fantastic. You won. But it's got to be incentive-based. It's got to be very heavily incentive-based if you're going to give that type of money to someone. That's the way I look at it. So here we are, folks. I mean, there's not much else to kind of really share. The Bills have not been as active. We brought some. We got Wisniewski back, our punter. Tyler Bass has taken a bit of a pay cut, and we're looking forward to seeing what takes place. So we'll see. We shall see. Somebody said that I see somebody in the chat saying Trey Hendrickson signed with the Bears. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. We'll see if it's true or not. It'd be wise for him to kind of just chill out and wait it out. Wait till tomorrow, where, you know what I'm saying, people can really start, paying up. Because right now his leverage just went way up. But if he did do it, good for him. Good for him. So, folks, what will the Bills be doing tomorrow? That's at the end of the day, that's what we're sitting at. What will they do tomorrow? We need an edge. We need safety. We got ourselves a corner, so we're good on that part. We need guard. Is Alec Anderson gonna be the guy that takes over at guard? Those are the things that we gotta talk about. Linebacker is something that we should be absolutely looking at. Let's take a look real quick at the linebacker position. I love showing you guys this just so you have an idea of and where you guys are with me here. So Greenlaw just got released not too long ago, right? That's a Denver guy. Look for Greenlaw potentially to be joining the Bills, right? Because of obviously our now defensive coordinator, Jim Leonard. So Greenlaw potentially. I mean, I can't see us going for Bobby Wagner, although he can still play. I would actually see us going back to Matt Milano, if anything. Or I can see us going back to, obviously, Shaq Thompson. But right now, man, like, listen, the list is thin. People, the list is thin. The list is thin. So this is why you gotta make sure you got the right one. You got to make sure you got the right one. Shaq Thompson, available. Obviously, he'd love to come back. But, I mean, he's going, 35? 35. I'm putting too much on him. He's going to be 32 by the time the season starts. I mean, it's not that bad. It ain't that bad. I'm not tripping on that. So, things to definitely to consider. Things to definitely consider. All right, let me get to my super chats, and then I'm gonna get out of here real quick. My man, Sharon. What up, Sharon? Yo, Mad Max, bring the demon to the mafia. Mad Max, bro. They got to figure it out what they're going to do with Mad Max. They got to figure it out. My man said, yo, do we really want to get to a Super Bowl or not? We're always drafting guys who love wings other than having a dog mentality. We got to pay to play. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. If you're trying to compete, you're going to have to pay. If you're trying to compete, you're going to have to pay. Look what the Chiefs just did. The Chiefs, they could have easily drafted that Julian Love coming out, but they don't want to take a chance. We're going to have to get a running back. But by the way, they had to pay. They came out of pocket heavily. So those are things you got to pay attention to. So you gotta pay to play, baby. You gotta play to play. You're right about that, Sharon. You're right about that. My man Jam comes in and says, hey, they made the physical mandatory for this exact reason. It doesn't matter if other teams suffered. Imagine the cap hit and embarrassment if the move was made and he was out for half a full season. But this is where you got to do your homework, though. You got to really do your homework. And I suppose this was them doing their homework, so they backed out. But the ramifications is already hit. All teams have made their decisions on certain players. So what, you're going to make everybody back out? So this is why you got to be sure of the move you're making. So I wonder if they do revisit that rule, or they just leave the rule the way it is. And this is just an anomaly, and we'll go from there. But the Ravens are known to do that. If something doesn't work out, they back out, and they've exercised their right 3 times now. Here we go. My man Jam says, yo, big baller Bean waiting for the bargain. Listen, man, there's 2 ways you can look at Bean's patience, if you want to call it patience. You let the dust settle. At the beginning, everybody's overpaying for certain things and so on and so forth. Guys, I got listen, Alec Pierce, solid player, fine player, but getting $114 million? No. And by the way, some folks are saying, bro, I would have took Michael Pittman Jr. You see Michael Pittman Jr.? Michael Pittman Jr. got a mid-round pick, and they're giving him $20-odd million a year. I will still take DJ Moore over Michael Pittman. I think DJ Moore is better than Michael Pittman. So that's not a brainer for me. That's a no-brainer. Who's the other player that just signed? The Patriots signing Romeo Doubs. Good for them. And I know people were like, well, maybe we can. I was one of them, and I was like delusional. Maybe we can get a big-time receiver when we got DJ Moore, and maybe we get Romeo Doubs. Bro, he's commanding $20 million. And DJ Moore is a better player than Romeo Doubs, at least in my opinion. So, I'm good with that move, man. I'm good with that move, and we're going to keep it that way. So, that being said, yeah, some folks are saying, yo, the Patriots overpaid. But this is free agency. And this is why this brings me to my point. Brandon Beane is letting the dust settle. Let the dust settle. Let the guys overpay. And now, at this point, some of these players that are still available are going to get their true value. Unless there's a bidding war. Everyone's going to get their true value at this point. Okay, the league year has opened up. All the dust is settled. Now I can make my moves. And that's kind of what I respect about being not overdoing it. You're just waiting for the right situation to come through, and let's roll. And that's where he's at the moment. Now, if we're looking at receiver, who we can bring in, there's a ton of receivers that you'd be taking a risk on that you can bring in. And I'm willing to take a risk because, controversial or not, I'll tell you this. Knowing what I know now and knowing how this offense rolls, bro, do we really need another receiver, meaning to sign another receiver in free agency? I believe we're gonna draft one. But do we need to sign one more receiver? Like a big name receiver? Do we? Because right now, Tyreek Hill coming off a knee injury, right? And 32 years of age. Christian Kirk, he doesn't sell me on anything. And then Christian Kirk gives me what I have in, Khalil Shakir. Deebo Samuel, interesting. Maybe he works out for us, maybe he doesn't. I don't see it. Darnell Mooney, to me, he's pretty much like what we already have in Khalil Shakir, right? Tutu Atwell, De'Ami Brown, Marquise Brown. I've never been a fan of Marquise Brown. He doesn't do it for me. For me, for sure. Juwan Jennings. I like Juwan Jennings. Only 28. But does Juwan Jennings gives you what Palmer gives you? And how much is it going to cost for him to bring him in? So those are the things that I look at as well. I don't mind Juwan Jennings. He was a solid player for the 49ers. And if we were to bring in Juwan Jennings, it doesn't hurt. I don't mind it. But his market value is tight, man. His market value is $22 million. I mean, I don't think he's going to get that because he would have got it by now. So it's significantly going to go down. Do you bring in a DeAndre Hopkins who's going to be 34 years of age? Do you? I mean, so this is where you got to find out the right piece, the right move for your squad. Who are you going to bring in? Who's different? Because right now, I would not be mad if the rooms stayed the way it is and we added a rookie receiver. DJ Moore, Josh Palmer, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman. Rookie receiver. Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, James Cook. It's not horrible. Like that room right there that I just named, immediately with DJ Moore's addition, probably puts them in, and I'm just throwing this number out, probably puts them in as top half of the receiving rooms in the room. Certainly not a top 10, but like top 15 could be the case. So we went from like to a room that's kind of like, I don't know about all that. And now we're like with DJ Moore's addition and what's on that offense that scores at least 27, 28 points a game, and you just added a game-changing receiver. Bro, do you really need to add any more? You don't. We were able to do all those things last year. So now I'm kind of in this mode where I'm like, do you need to do any more? I think we could stay where we're at right now. But I might be, you know what I'm saying, the only one on that. But I don't want to be on this receiver talk. I want to be on this what Brandon Beane is going to be doing tomorrow, because tomorrow's the day. But before I get out of here, I may share an opinion that y'all may not like, but there's somebody that has an opinion of his own, and he's probably going to want to share his. So all he has to do is give me a thumbs up, and he's ready to tell me when he's ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, my guy, Z-Bot himself.
Can you believe what we are watching go down on the greatest soap opera in the world that is the NFL? What are we witnessing going down in the NFL right now? I am watching the Ravens get dragged through the mud more than I've ever seen an organization get dragged. This is unbelievable. Nobody's buying the physical excuse. Nobody.
Really? Is that what you're reading?
I'm even seeing guys like Tom Pelissero saying that he's spoken to GMs who have said this is absolute BS on the part of the Baltimore Ravens. The ripple effect of this is going to be seismic. I can't get over the fact that this move was made multiple days ago, and then the Raiders go out and spend a fortune. They completely revamp their linebacker room.
Absolutely.
They go and give Linderbaum $81 million at center. And now 48 hours into free agency, the Ravens say, psych. Can you believe this? I mean, I obviously I didn't see your thoughts, but I am so taken back by this because I could not imagine being in the shoes of either one of these organizations right now. I saw a Ravens fan shave his head bald because he said, if the Ravens get Maxx Crosby, I'll shave my head bald, and he did it. He did it. And then so if you're a Raiders fan, you're thinking, wow, the rebuild's starting. We're drafting Fernando Mendoza 1 overall. Now we got 2 more first-round draft picks. The Raiders are spending money. They're going out and getting guys. Now that's done. Now you're in a situation where you got to take the highest bidder because, like, you're already in a situation where you got to get rid of Maxx Crosby, essentially. Dude, is this not one of the craziest things you've ever seen?
It is absolutely nutty. It's a soap opera, and it affects all teams that were actually in on this, all 30 teams. And now everybody's back in it. Holy crap. Maybe I got a chance. So here's a question. Ring, ring, ring.
Oh.
Ring, ring.
Oh, hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Tom Brady here. You saw what's happened. You saw what's happened. We were on the phone. What do you got for me?
Listen, Tom, you owe us one. I mean, for God's sake, nobody paved a path for you, but more than, I mean, essentially we were out in Oz the way we laid that yellow brick road down for you for nearly 2 decades. Why don't you throw the Bills a solid here? Listen, the asking price, Rico, price just went down. Okay, this is no longer that's the question.
Down?
That's the question. I'll tell you what, though, it's no longer a 2 first-round draft pick type situation we're looking at here because the Raiders are in a corner. And here's the crazy thing. In regard to, once again, to that physical talk, Maxx Crosby's agent broke the silence. He said Maxx Crosby, if anything, is ahead of schedule on his rehab, according to a surgeon from the surgery he had a month ago. This is fishy beyond belief. And everyone thinks they're just doing this to go get Hendrickson instead. Buyer's remorse.
Buyer's remorse. And that's the thing I said earlier. I said, hold on. You knew going into this that he had the repair. You knew he was doing what he was supposed to do. All is good. Now you hear Hendrickson's making a decision tomorrow, and now you back out because of what? Nah, you got to something's not right. Something ain't right.
You almost can't get Hendrickson now if you're the Ravens just based on optics. You almost literally can't do it just because of how bad it would look.
Listen, this is business at the end of the day. No, if you're Hendrickson, do you care of what's taking place here, or are you going where they're going to pay you? Or are you like, hold on, they backed out on him, and that's not good business.
Oh, Hendrickson's going wherever he gets the bag. Did you see what he's asking for? Between 30 to 40 million. There's a reason why he hasn't been signed yet. It's because he wants an insane amount of money and no one's willing to do it.
And that's the question that I was asking everybody. Where do you draw the line with Hendrickson? Where's your line? Where's your financial line?
Whatever. My financial line would be the max that's allowable for Buffalo right now. Now, 30 to 40 million, that's not happening, but that's not happening with anybody, and he's not getting that. I would say my financial line would be whatever the maximum amount of money Brandon Beane has to give up for. You know, I know people are concerned about the age, 31 years old, but we've been over this 1,000 times. It's about right now. I don't really, does it matter to me what Trey Hendrickson's doing for me on the contract after this one? Not necessarily. I need it right now. Brandon Beane's been in the hunt for a game-changing edge since he took the job. They have not found it.
Yep.
So if you got the opportunity here, go and do it. But now things are dramatically different with Maxx Crosby being back on the table. That's a guy that I feel like you would get best of both worlds because he's a couple years younger than Hendrickson, and I feel like you're checking both boxes there. You're getting that dominant edge presence right now and for the future.
So let me ask you this. So I asked the chat this. Hendrickson, A, Crosby, B, C, none of the above.
I'm gonna
go for one.
Remember back in the day when you were taking a test in school and you had no idea what the answer was, so you just blindly circled one? I'm just blindly circling A or B, Rico. Just pray to God one of them winds up getting me home. That's where I'm at. Give me an A or give me a B. All I'm avoiding there is C. Well, I don't know what Brian's on. Ain't no C in this side.
I'll tell you right now, the chat was a lot of C. There was a lot of C.
Is that right?
And normally, usually when in doubt, you go to C. Because now at least you're safe on that regard. Like, I didn't jump in on that. But no risk and no biscuit. Sometimes you got to go for it. And this might be one of those situations you got to go for. But which is the lesser evil? Trey Hendrickson, where you got to pay him a lot, or Maxx Crosby, you still got to pay him a lot, and you got to deal with that knee that could potentially be something that is catastrophic, or it was never anything.
The agent himself literally said he's ahead. There's no way.
Schedule. No, but that's agent talk. That's agent talk. Is that true? That's another thing. Is that even true?
Okay, but here's the counter to that. He got surgery he got surgery 2 months ago, early January. You mean to tell me you were willing to go up to the table with 2 first-round draft picks with even a slight idea in mind that the physical was going to be nowhere near passable to acquire this guy? This is where it's awfully interesting to me. You had 2 months between now and when he had the surgery. You come to the table with an unprecedented amount of draft capital for that organization. You think they did that without the fortitude or the initial knowledge that this was going to be a potential issue?
Yep.
I don't know, man.
Bro.
I don't know. But I can't for the life of me understand how Baltimore could. It's one thing to lose out on Crosby if you're a fan here, right? I mean, I couldn't imagine if this was the Bills, what we'd be saying right now. I mean, you think Bean is come to blows with the fan base a couple of times here over the last year. You imagine if this was on his resume, but it's not just that. It's now going to be in the territory of, oh, well, we're not trading with Baltimore. Do you remember when the Browns gave Deshaun Watson the most amount of guaranteed money in the history of the NFL? Do you remember how the owners reacted to that? It was the cold shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be, I'm telling you, this is going to be heavily felt by Baltimore in more ways than one.
So this is I'm so glad that you mentioned that tweet, because here it is right now.
Yeah.
So Max continues to be on track in his recovery, and if anything, is ahead of schedule according to his surgeon, Dr. Neil L. Attrack. Anyway, Max remains on track to return during the offseason program and will undoubtedly return as the dominant game wrecker he has been in the past 7 seasons. So
I'm sold.
Is he ready? My man said, "I'm sold. Let me in."
Look at that top. Look at that top comment. By the way, that was great. It said, "Baltimore will take him back for a second and third."
I'll tell you this much, man. So then, what's the price now? That's the question I have for you now. What's the price? So I mentioned this. If Bills are really in it and they're back in it for Crosby, bro, obviously I can't give you a first. I'm not giving you 2 firsts. I just can't. In good conscience, you know it. Tom Brady and whoever's out there, you know I can't do it.
Wait, why not though? Why not?
Are you willing to do that knowing what you know?
Yes.
We'd be a fool if we gave 2 first-round picks when the Ravens.
No, I thought you meant just 1. No, not two.
Right. So now does it just go down to 1 and reduce his price a little bit? Like take some of his salary?
I'm thinking 1 1/3 gets it done.
Damn, we get no picks.
Ask yourself this. Would you rather roll the dice on your first-round draft pick being as good as Maxx Crosby, or would you rather roll the dice on Maxx Crosby's injury not being as bad as what led to this situation, allegedly?
That's a big one. That's a big one. Max is what, 28, 29?
I think he's going to be 29.
He's going to be 29, right? He's turning 29. That's a tough one, man. Chat, talk to me now. Are we in on Maxx Crosby? Knowing and giving up a first and third, the Bills do not pick in the first 3 rounds?
Imagine.
Did you deal?
Imagine. We'd be awfully bored on the draft stream.
I mean, if that's the case,
that's
free
aggressive.
Free up all the money you can and just go nuts in free agency and start picking players as best you can.
Here's the thing. The last thing I want to see is him wind up on like the Rams or the Eagles. I'm so sick of these teams going like, couldn't you see the Eagles doing it? Because Jalen Phillips just left. He had $120 million to leave. So now couldn't you see the Eagles saying, "Oh, well, out goes one and comes another"? I mean, I'm so sick of seeing these teams go and do these things. I want Buffalo to do it, damn it. And how amazing would it be to stick it in the craw of Baltimore, too? Have this all collapse and then the Bills
part
get
that I like. I like that part. You take, and what would be intriguing, let's just say Hendrickson does go to the Ravens. Okay? First of all, poor Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow thought he was clear and free, but he's not. He gets his boy back. The Bills go out and say, you know what, Crosby, come over here. You were meant to be here in the first place with Bills Mafia. And now you get to stick it to the Ravens that say you're not good enough. And we thought, bro, how good would that be? How good would that be?
I'm a firm believer in, karma, what goes around comes around. If the Ravens go and sign Hendrickson, that immediately tells me it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out in Baltimore. I don't see how all could be right in the world if the Ravens stiff the Raiders the way that they just did, go and get Hendrickson, and then he leads the league in sacks or something like that. It would immediately say to me that they're going to wind up getting their comeuppance for what they just did here.
Walter comes in and says, you know what, so Walter, I appreciate that. I appreciate that because that's pretty much what my man Bot was saying. Don't overthink it. Trying to be cute. Well, you know what I mean? Now that this has happened, bro, if I was going to give you 2 first, I'm going to give you 2 first. Have it. I had my doctor check out his knee. I don't think it's as bad as we think it is. Let's go. Is he going to be ready for week 1? He is. Let's roll. But I did hear, you saw what the Thigh Dog said. Thigh Dog was like, bro, but if it's bad, it's like early arthritis. So like, bro, you're gonna put him on a pitch count? And he's known to play 70, 75, 80% of the snaps. Man, I don't know, brother.
Come give me that 75, 80 out at the new Highmark Stadium. Come give it to me.
At the end of the day, really at the end of the day, we just need to squeeze as much lemon out of that lemon as much as possible. So if you got 2 good years in you, and that gets me a championship in those 2 good years, give it to me. Give it to me now.
This is all we've been saying. We don't care the cost.
It's true. You're right. I gotta get back into it. I can't get sucked into this whole, should we give that and should we do? We only have 8. How many more years realistically with Josh Allen?
We've used this analogy before. You go to the doctor says, hey, Bot, you got X amount of time to live. Are you gonna give a damn how much money is left in your bank account when the clock strikes 0? No, you're gonna spend every last cent right now living out the best. You're going to live the best life of your remaining days. And that's what I want to see. I want to see the Bills living their best life for the remaining days of Josh Allen's prime.
Listen,
give it to me.
I'm with it. Richie Fresh, baby. Richie Fresh says, yes, go get it done. I'm also sick of these other teams, Rams, Eagles, etc., finding a way to get money, right? They do.
Right.
B needs to figure it out, and we will find out.
Damn right, Richie. Damn right. Print the T-shirts. Hey, listen, I got to go. Zoe's crying. But I wanted to come on and just get your thoughts because it's not every day. Caroline just asked me, she goes, would you say this was historic? And I would say, you know what? Sarcasm aside, I would say it's historic. So I wanted to come on and share a little history with you. I wanted to share a little history with you.
It could be historic tonight. By the time we wake up tomorrow morning, the Bills have righted everything. Everybody's wrong, and they've brought him home to where he's supposed to be, donning that jersey, and then we can get this freaking thing cracking.
I promise you, you will see us too right where you're watching us currently the second that happens. And I can't wait to see you then. Love it. Good night, everybody.
All right. That's my guy, Bot. And you know what? That's good enough for me to kind of dip out of here too. Because listen, man, we're about to find out what's going to be taking place tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. If you think a lot of the drama is happening right now, wait till tomorrow when it's really, you know how things go, right? You get initial information now, and then more information starts to spill the next day and the following day. So this is our opportunity right now for Brandon Beane. If he's going to be aggressive, this is your aggressive move. If this was on your docket to begin with, go get DJ Moore, trade for, if that was on your vision board said DJ Moore, Maxx Crosby, and you had to cross out Maxx Crosby because obviously the Raiders jumped it, your vision board is back up again. What are we doing? Go do what has to be done. I'm going to tell you right now. Bills fans won't be mad. Bills fans will be back to calling you Big Baller Bean if you can do something like this. Bring ourselves a pass rusher, pair him with Deion Walker, pair him with Ed Oliver, pair him with Michael Hoyt coming back. You got Cole Bishop on the back end? Christian Bedford on the other side? Bro, although we have some holes to fill that we can fill, via the draft, we got some guys like Shaq Thompson. If we don't have the money, bring back Shaq Thompson. There are some things we can figure out. And Josh Allen will put the points on the board. You best believe that. And you just get him. Sick him. Put the ears behind the head and get going. Come on now. Brandon Beane, you have an opportunity now. Brandon Beane has an opportunity to go out and historically shock the world. Turn everybody's, dunk on everybody, man. This is your opportunity. This is your get back. You had the opportunity to go for Maxx Crosby. Go get him. If he's there for you, go get him. Try to work something out to your advantage. Don't be a sucker and give him everything. But at the end of the day, if they're standing firm and they say, we want our 2 first-round picks, bro, that's what it's got to be. Find a way to financially take a little bit of burden off. Go get it done, Brandon Beane. If you want to make Bills Mafia be back on your side and call you Big Baller Bean, you got to get it done. But if you sit on your hands and do absolutely nothing, both Trey Hendrickson and Maxx Crosby get signed elsewhere, and we sit here and bring in who knows? You bring in, I'm going to just pick a random defensive end that is available as edge rusher and say, you go ahead and bring in where he at. Let me I went defense. Let me go defensive edge defender. If you go ahead and bring me Joey Bosa back, bro, I will revolt. If I hear the Bills were out on Crosby, they felt it was too rich, so they returned Joey Bosa. Bro, turn everything upside down. Turn everything upside down. Brandon Beane, you ain't that dude. Aggressive my ass. But you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity. Whether you bring Trey Hendrickson in or you bring Maxx Crosby, there's one of the two. And it said that you were in on Crosby. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. All right, folks, it's my time. If you guys enjoyed this stream, do me a favor. Smash that like. Let's get this thing to what? Let's get it to 700 likes. We could do that. 700 likes. Smash that like. Hit that like right now and go ahead and do that for your boy. If you guys have not followed us on social media all over the place, go ahead and do that. Obviously, the new league year starts tomorrow at 4 p.m. And that's when we're going to start to see a whole lot of things happening. All right. So hopefully drama continues and the Bills come in as the victor in this, and they bring Maxx Crosby to where he's supposed to be in Buffalo and call it a day. Folks, that's my time. Hit that bell, hit that sub, hit that notification bell, all of that good stuff. And we will see you again. If big things are popping, we'll see you again tomorrow. If it's a quiet day, we'll see you back on Friday. And until next time, you guys enjoy your evening. Go ahead and peruse all over the social media. And if there's anything that stands out, go ahead and let your boy know. But that's my time, folks. So you guys enjoy yourself, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. One. Crazy. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Until next time, it's your boy. And I'm out. Peace.
Studies show that 100% of everybody in the world wants to curl up indoors and do nothing because it's so darn cold out there. That's why many people are turning to Bombas, whose pillowy plush slippers and warm merino wool socks have been said to be the most comfortable in the history of feet. Bombas products have been found to boost coziness by up to 1,000,000%. Okay, enough fake statistics, but could Bombas socks and slippers really be the cure? Go to bombas.com/audio and use code AUDIO for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com and use code AUDIO.
If you're a podcast host, listen up. This one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle. And I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.